And in the red corner, Khunpol, Kaewsamrit, 25 years of age, started fighting 11. He's 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 133 pounds, has had 61 fights in his professional career for 10 losses only and 21 draws. He likes to go the distance. And in the blue corner, the challenger, Sereechai, Or.Kaew-A-Nusorn, 24 years of age, started fighting when he was 12. He's 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighs 133 pounds, has had 50 fights for 2 losses and 15 draws. The sounds of the Muay, and there's some silent meditation in the red corner, is Khunpol. And while onto his knees, rising from the wire crew into the Muay stretch, is Sereechai. There's Sereechai rolling his arms, looking quite confident too. He knows as Sereechai, relaxing himself and contemplating the strengths and weaknesses of himself and his opponent. In MuayThai, every fighter is taught to recognise both the strengths and weaknesses in the battle ahead, and then to capitalise on the weaknesses and to turn any of the fighter's own weaknesses into a positive frame in terms of defence and tactics. Well, this will unfold in 5 rounds of MuayThai. Khunpol in the red. There he is, stretching out his arms, and finishing his Muay is Sereechai. Sereechai has completed his Muay, and there's Khunpol facing himself as he moves around, wearing that Mong Kong crown. All Thai fighters wear the Mong Kong crown into the ring. They wear it while they're performing the Wakru Muay, and of course the Mong Kong is removed before the 5 rounds of MuayThai combat begin. Well, Khunpol, he's had 61 fights for 10 losses, and has gone the distance gone to a draw 21 times. And also, if you look at Sereechai, he's also had 15 draws over his career of 50 fights, so both these fighters tend to go the long journey, so expect this one to go 5 rounds. There's the referee. Bring the fighters together for the commencement of 5 rounds of MuayThai. If you look at the reach on these two fighters, you'll see that Khunpol in the red has a 2-inch reach advantage in terms of height over Sereechai. So Khunpol a lot taller than Sereechai's foot of the tail of the tape. But when you look at those two fighters out there in the ring, they don't look too much difference in height. In fact, it's hard to imagine that Khunpol is in fact 2 inches taller than Sereechai, who then latched out with a very hard, thundering roundhouse then. So Sereechai indicating he's got his power and he's kicking in tonight. So Sereechai in the blue corner, demonstrating power kicking here in round 1. Still 5 more rounds to go. There he goes again with that hard roundhouse kick, Sereechai. That's something that Khunpol's going to watch to make sure that he doesn't allow those kicks to get into his exposed rib cage, because that could be quite devastating should Sereechai be able to score in hard with those roundhouse kicks to the body. Good punch by Khunpol. And this action is really starting to hot up here in round 1. They're not taking it slowly, they're giving their full power in round 1. Probing, testing the defences. Khunpol in the red. Sereechai in the blue has been power kicking from the outset of this fight. And Khunpol's enjoying being able to use his hard punches. He's able to slip in those punches whenever he gets the opportunity. Sereechai's been relying on his kicking. Khunpol moving in onto Sereechai. Sereechai being forced back into near the ropes. Let's fly, give him another good roundhouse. A little bit low, almost though. The idea was good for the head, but just fell a bit short. And Khunpol punching again when he gets the opportunity in close. Sereechai picking his target, then comes in hard with the grapple. It's where he chance to use his knee, and he gets a good knee in there, and a half elbow attempt by Sereechai. Roundhouse, thumping roundhouse again by Sereechai. And then the round, and a good round, I believed it went to Sereechai, although there wasn't much in it, but certainly in terms of power kicking, Sereechai would have taken the points. But a lot of punches there thrown by Khunpol. There's the roundhouse exchanges in the centre of the ring. But very, very little separating these two fighters after round one. Very even contest, but I would have had Sereechai in the blue slightly ahead because he seemed to be a bit more direct with his kicking than Khunpol. Khunpol's been relying on his punches, and of course punches don't score that highly in Muay Thai. See if there's a change of tactics now. See if Khunpol wants to get in and grapple with Sereechai, so get his knees working. In the one grapple exchange we've seen to date, it was Sereechai who was able to convert his knees quicker than Khunpol, so perhaps Khunpol decided to stay his distance. And that was another good roundhouse kick to the body by Sereechai, and a good knee by Sereechai. Sereechai's doing everything right at the moment. Khunpol really hasn't had any real effective weapons to fire back at Sereechai. Sereechai in the centre of the ring. Khunpol comes in and moves back. Good roundhouse to the body by Khunpol. Beat Sereechai to the mark, but Sereechai comes back again with those roundhouse hard kicks. The referee telling Sereechai to keep up the pace. Good deep push kick there by Sereechai that pushed Khunpol right back onto the ropes. That was a classic deep push kick by Sereechai there. When he does let loose within his striking, he's got a lot of power, whether he's kicking or using the deep push or throwing the elbow. He lets loose with 100% power. Sereechai in the blue. There he goes again with that hard roundhouse kick, attempt by Khunpol to grab the kick and convert to a cloud technique, but couldn't do so. Oh, another good roundhouse by Sereechai. Deep push kick. Thundering roundhouse response by Sereechai to the roundhouse by Khunpol. Sereechai is doing everything right here in round two. Knee punch combination, then another knee by Sereechai. He's looking good. And Khunpol's going to have to use some new tactic to stop Sereechai dominating this contest. There he goes again with a good deep push kick by Sereechai. And cleverly defended on his shin there by the attack by Khunpol. Now watch the grapple. See who's got the strength, and that's Sereechai who won that exchange, and he waves his hands in the air and confidently goes back into his corner after 2 rounds. The 2 rounds, and both have been very impressive, and there's that deep push kick. Now look at Khunpol pushed right back against the ropes by that powerful deep push of Sereechai. So after 2 rounds, Sereechai's corner smiling, confident the way this fight's going, and that means that Khunpol is going to have to do something here in round 3 as we move to towards the centre stage of the fight. Khunpol needs to do something to turn the tide because Sereechai is looking confident. He's scoring well with his knees and kicks, and there's the referees indicating to Khunpol to move up a gear or 2. That's a good deep push kick by Khunpol. Now watch the grapple and see who gets scores with the knees. Good knee by Sereechai. Another good knee by Sereechai. Khunpol comes back himself with a knee, but certainly Sereechai got the upper hand of that grapple. Roundhouse kicks by Sereechai. There's that knee by Sereechai. Sereechai in the blue, doing well on the grapple, forcing Khunpol back onto the ropes. Certainly stronger as Sereechai. The referee breaks. A little bit of despondency coming over the face of Khunpol too. He's at a loss what to do. If he stands back, he opens himself up to those roundhouses of Sereechai, and then when he gets in close to the grapple, well, Sereechai's got more knees going for him, so Khunpol really doesn't have much options here at this stage. He's really getting outpaced, out-pushed, and also in the grapple, he's not doing enough work. Although here he's doing better now as he gets right on top of Sereechai to land that knee. That's better work by Khunpol. Much better by Khunpol. You can hear the crowd responding there as Khunpol gets in some knee attacks, and it's a clumsy roundhouse throw by Sereechai. Probably because of those knees he took, he wasn't concentrating too well, and that enabled Khunpol to score. So Khunpol using tactics here to edge back into this fight. In the grapple, kick by Sereechai. Roundhouse by Khunpol. A wild kick by Sereechai, and it finds his leg right outside the ropes. Now he's forcing the pressure on to Khunpol again. He comes in for the grapple. Scores with the knee. Another knee by Sereechai. Khunpol swings him around the ropes and comes back with knees himself. A better round now by Khunpol. He's starting to pick his mark a lot better. And he's able to stop Sereechai from attacking, and he's really even starting to get a little bit in front when it gets to the grappling. So it's been a good latter stage of this round to Khunpol in the red. But Sereechai's coming back hard now himself with knees. Good knees by Sereechai. Forcing Khunpol right back. Sereechai comes in onto him. Leg grab plow by Khunpol. The referee breaks it. He took his 2 steps, which is the legal limit, then comes in hard with a head-eye kick by Khunpol, and a better round by Khunpol in the red. Maybe not enough to give him the points advantage, but it certainly gives him a chance as we go into round 4. You can see here Sereechai in full flight as he lets fly with that kick and finishes up with his leg outside the ring, and you're watching Muay. With round 4 coming up, it's going to be make or break time for Khunpol. He's put a bit of pressure back onto Sereechai in that round 3, but really Khunpol, if he's going to make a run, he's going to have to do it in this round, because Sereechai is extremely tough and hard, and what the judges are impressed by is the power of a blow, not necessarily how many land. That was a good punch there by Khunpol, though. That one did stop Sereechai in his tracks. Another hard punch by Khunpol, and he's really going to try to put pressure onto Sereechai in this round. As I said, it's a make or break it round for both these fighters. And Khunpol wisely changing his tactics, because he wasn't really doing much to penetrate through the defence of Sereechai or to stop Sereechai's attacking foray onto him. So those 2 punches may have had some effect, but although you look at Sereechai now, he's fully recovered from those blows, and even though Khunpol is able to grab him, Sereechai looks still pretty tough. But if a transition's going to come about, it's going to happen in this round, and this is where Khunpol's going to have to be the dominator. He started well, but can he continue on in that same vein? Khunpol moving back. Sereechai picks his mark, then slips. It was a good kick nevertheless by Khunpol. Sereechai comes in hard. There's a good knee response there by Khunpol. Smart fighting by Khunpol now. He's very good in the counter kicking and attacks, and Sereechai will need to be a little bit more cautious, as Khunpol is starting to get his knees working every time he gets into the grappling stages. And now Khunpol backing off from Sereechai. Sereechai had a couple of good rounds, but this one's been particularly good by Khunpol. Khunpol starting to find his mark now, and he's looking a little bit more confident as he faces up to Sereechai. And there you see a bit of smart, clever kicking there by Khunpol. Knee attack by Sereechai. Khunpol moving around, hard knee there by Khunpol. And Khunpol again looking clever as he moves around and keeping Sereechai at distance. Sereechai moves in, there's the knee and attack by Khunpol. Khunpol looking rather serious now as he glares down on the Sereechai. Sereechai comes in and takes a knee, and a knee response by Sereechai. End of round. Better round by Khunpol. There he is, those hawk eyes of Khunpol as he watches Sereechai come in, and there he is, forces him back and then gets his hard roundhouse kick in and then blocks the kick by Sereechai on the shin, as is the way it's done in Muay Thai. Leg grab and good knee attack there by Khunpol. So Khunpol, playing percentages there, he's been able to manoeuvre around and slightly better than Sereechai in round 4, and that's going to leave round 5 really to be the determinator of who's going to win this encounter. So one more round remaining. The fight is very evenly poised, and the 5th round will decide the judgment of who's the winner of this contest. Blocked on the shin there by Khunpol. Knee defence by Khunpol. Hard roundhouse there by Sereechai, just missed its mark. Roundhouse to the body by Khunpol. Hard attack by Sereechai. Khunpol moving around the ring. Sereechai standing back. Good attack there by Khunpol. Again, clever kicking attacks there by Khunpol. A little bit better than Sereechai in the tactics department. This is going to be a very close decision. Knees by Khunpol. Wild kick by Sereechai. It's in a way in which Khunpol was able to defend well by raising his shin, which acts like a shield. Khunpol looking at, he wants to move on to the attack now as he swings around in a sort of a decoying method there. It looked like it might have been defence. In actual fact, that was an attacking move by Khunpol as he's setting up that strike. Again, clever work by Khunpol. In this round 5, he's not boxing harder, but he's certainly boxing a bit smarter. It's going to be very close, though. One false move here and you leave yourself exposed, and at one point could tip the balance in the judgment. So both fighters obviously a little bit cautious. They realise that this is a very crucial stage with seconds remaining. Sereechai doing one last chance, realised he might need a point to win. There it is, both fighters holding their gloves in the air. We'll wait for the decision, but I would slightly have Khunpol a fraction ahead to take out the honours of this contest. There he is, a little bit more tidier than Sereechai and a little bit smarter, as I said before. That possibly won him the contest. We'll wait for the final decision. It's very close. Winner is Khunpol in the red.